Welcome to In Focus with Silvana Pavlovska. We're continuing with the academic papers on the Macedonian question. This is part 3 of a 3-part academic paper by Maja Gori titled Fabricating Identity from Ancient Shards, Memory, Construction and Cultural Appropriation in the New Macedonian Question. So part 3 is the final part. As well as the new archaeological museum in Skopje, the last decade has seen the establishment of several new archaeological open-air museums in key sites of the country. The most significant of these, or at least the newest and largest, are the Tumba Majori near Skopje and Ohrid, where an entire pile-dwelling settlement has been completely reconstructed. Tumba Majori is an outstanding early Neolithic site located in the Gazibaba municipality of Skopje. There have been several exceptional findings since the first archaeological excavations directed by Vojislav Stanev in 1978. Walking through the open-air museum, one can dive into an 8,000-year world in 4 fully equipped reconstructions of prehistoric huts, where everyday scenes are recreated with life-size mannequins. Throughout the website of Tumba Majori Open Air Museum, it is stressed that the settlement of Tumba Majori is the protogenic core of today's Skopje. It is significant that the Great Mother, the terracotta idol, which has made Tumba Majori famous to a worldwide community of specialists, is represented on the frieze decorating Porta Macedonia, a triumphal arch located on Pella Square in Skopje. The Museum on Water, which opened in Ohrid on December the 8th, 2008, lies in the suggestive Bay of the Bones and features a reconstruction of a settlement from the Iron and Bronze Ages. It is advertised as a place where the visitors will be able to travel back in time. The political importance of the new museum lies in the valuable archaeological and scientific data significant for the functioning of the ethnogenesis and the beginnings of the formation and recognition of the tribes in ethnic sense between 1200 and 700 BC. The bridges left for Asia Minor, forming the state of Phrygia, which is very important for us because in a certain way we are ethnically connected with them. Open-air museums, excavations, exhibitions, monuments, and architectural structures connected to antiquity and archaeological heritage are contributing to the shaping of a contemporary Macedonia ideal and physical landscape in assumed continuity with an ancient past, and to bolstering the connection to the land. Open-air museums welcomes school children and the general public and they host various activities for bringing people together. And thanks to their powerful affective influence, these reenactments serve as a means for visitors to become part of the millenary Macedonian history. By experiencing a full immersion in an open-air museum, the visitor gets a feeling of authentic and long-lasting emotional connection to the site, even if she has been there only for a few hours. This cultural policy, which makes abundant use of archaeological discourse and historical arguments to construct and foster Macedonian identity, is one of the main causes for the embitterment of the conflict on Macedonian identity at international political level. Museums and archaeological excavations are widely promoted through the internet. According to the ITU, the International Telecommunications Union, the United Nations Agency for Information and Communication Technologies, the internet is used by 51% of the population in the Republic of Macedonia and is therefore an information channel capable of reaching a wide domestic audience. It can also be argued that Macedonian nationalism focusing on the past has grown almost in parallel with the spread of new technologies and new media in the country. Appropriations of the past. The following points emerge from the examples discussed here. The physicality of archaeology gives an added sense of material reality to the feelings of archaeology, to the feelings of belonging and continuity that underlie national identity constructions. Archaeological heritage and its display are used to provide tangible proofs of the past and are conceived and interpreted as physical representations of the concept of national identity. However, this use of archaeology by nation states coexists with approaches to archaeological heritage that point towards shared heritage and global culture. Global culture should be conceived less as an alleged homogenizing process and more in terms of the variety and diversity of popular and local discourses. In both Greece and the Republic of Macedonia, the work of archaeologists and scholars concerned with antiquity actively contributes to the creation of identities. The ideal connection of present day to ancient Greece through the modern conception of antiquity is present in more than just national narratives and popular archaeology. It is also vividly present in the imagination of many scholars, as lieu de mémoire. This type of Hellenism revives the romantic idea of Greece as the idealized and preferred locus for academic research and may be regarded as the direct legacy of what Hamilakis has defined as New Hellenism. Arjun Appadurai's work on issues of globalization and the relationship between modernity and tradition reflects on the role of archaeology and its connections to modernity. In an interview on the topic of archaeology and its relation to nationalism, he argues, I quote, "Professional archaeology is intimately tied to state institutions, national institutions, and the ruling political party. Even the question of how archaeology could enter the space of conversation reminded us that archaeology is a key site through which the apparatus of nations can reflect the policies of remembering." He continues affirming that, in quotation, "insofar as archaeology professionally remains very closely tied in many countries to producing the people, it remains a critical player in the economy of remembering and forgetting," end of quotation. As contributions to producing the people and institutions of soft power, archaeology, as contributors, rather, to producing the people and instruments of soft power, archaeology and archaeologists play a crucial role in cultural diplomacy and in politics, reflecting visions of heritage which derive from specific political visions and historical conditions. Just like economic development, archaeology needs to be sustainable and not predatory, and to be capable of exploring different ways of claiming origins without excluding. In the New Macedonian Question, the search for origins has direct repercussions for domestic and foreign policy in the states involved. The past has an ambivalent meaning in the Western Balkans theory today. The past and its material traces are the favorite locus for violent fights and preferred symbols of identity struggles. But the study and preservation of the past are also used by the European Union through the support of archaeological projects in the new states to endorse the culture of peace and mutual understanding. Are these goals really achievable when all academics are first of all supporting a predatory claim for origins, as is the case of the New Macedonian Question? Asks the author of this paper. Considering that the study of classics is declining in the Western world, it may be that scholars reclaiming antiquity in the New Macedonian Question are now let's see. you actually, my apology for that, are actually reclaiming their own importance and their role in society. So I might just repeat that sentence again, so we know where we are. There are a lot of footnotes on the bottom of the page, so it can be a little bit distracting. Considering that the study of classics is declining in the Western world, it may be that scholars reclaiming antiquity in the new Macedonian question are actually reclaiming their own importance and their role in society. To regain its place in the contemporary cultural debate, archaeology, like the other branches of the humanities concerned with antiquity, needs an engagement with the present, first of all, by acknowledging the political significance of antiquity in present Western societies, and thus rejecting the modernist ideal of the archaeologist as a scientist who stands apart from the array of evidence and its political context and offers a definitive interpretation. Nonetheless, looking at the influence of the modernist approach to archaeology and antiquity on the new Macedonian question, one may question if the postmodern turn really has produced a change within the discipline in this sense. A major result of the postmodern critique in archaeology seems to be a further expansion of the scope of the discipline and its role in society. But this expansion seems to have involved only some aspects of the discipline and has overlooked others. Using Friedman's words, one can argue that the act of identification of the person, the classicist, is in a higher project, the pursuit of historical truth, is an act of pure existential authenticity, a consumption of identity canalized by a negotiation between self-definition and the array of possibilities offered by the capitalist market. The economic recession that started in the late 2000s put the humanities under greater pressure than ever to justify their existence to administrators, policymakers, students, and parents. Reclaiming archaeology from modernism and insisting that all aspects of practice are imbued with power and politics may represent an important step to move forward toward new ways of engagement with the past and the present. And this paper has got several pages of bibliography that the author has used when she put the paper together. So you're welcome to do your own research. And if you can locate this paper titled Fabricating Identity from Ancient Shards, Memory, Construction and Cultural Appropriation in the New Macedonian Question, by Maja Gori, published in the Hungarian Historical Review, Volume 3, Number 2, 2014. So that ends or concludes this three-part series from Maja Gori. I'm looking forward to seeing you next time with another academic paper. Thanks.